The second information I want to give you here is that I need to give you a tip. Yeah. So in the last few days in which we have put this thing out there, yeah, I've gotten a lot of feedback from several people, individuals who have reached out to me, and like 2 or 3 calls that are somehow anonymous. So I know that some people actually feel very bad that people are getting to know about it. I'm based in the UK. I'm a global talent resident in the UK, which is similar to the EB1 in the US, for example. Yeah. And I see people calling and they have an issue that people are getting to know about this. And for me, I feel like, why should you have a problem with people knowing about this other process? Yeah. And I know the reason why people have issues with that. I will tell you, it's actually in two different folds. Number one is that people feel like when others know about it, it reduces their chance of getting it. And number two is also what I'm going to show you. Yeah. Number two is that because of the pool, the queue we have in the system, yeah. So they believe that the queue will build up over time, which might go against them. And for me, I feel like, what is your problem with that? Yeah. My chance does not affect your chance. My approval does not affect your approval. Yeah. The only thing that is affected here is actually the queue in the pool. Yeah. But if you have your choice, go submit your application and get it done. Yeah. It's as simple as that. So let me just show you something briefly, which you can also check up by yourself. So the other reason why people have been backlashing on this particular thing is that there's some of people, yeah, who are out there who are charging a lot of money for this particular process. And by the way, it is fine. Today, I charge money for the Global Talent Visa. I charge money for other services which I render to people because I'm spending my time to help them. I'm spending the time of based on the information I have to help them. However, where I have concern is that when people come to me and they want me to support them for their global talent visa in the UK, as an example, I want them to do it from the point of knowledge, which means that they are coming to me because I have more information than them, because I can help them more, I can increase their probability of they getting it. I can't assure anybody 100%, but I'll increase your likelihood of getting it by giving you tips based on what I know, based on what I've read, based on success stories in which I've seen. But when people feel like everybody must come to them to do this particular process for them, then it feels like no, this shouldn't be. Yeah, give people that option for them to make a choice by themselves. There are people that are smart. Yeah, they read a process. For example, that's what I did for UK Global Talent Visa. I read it, went to people, had them question, leverage my network. Then I did the application myself, and I got endorsed just in a few days. Yeah, so which means people can do it yourself. So my first goal and the goal of people have here is that nobody is stopping us. We are reaching out to more than 50,000 people. So if you are not doing it, it's just be that your choice. You don't want to do it. It's not because you are not aware. You look at the options, you look at it yourself, and you feel like, I don't want to do it. But our goal is that as many that can do it by themselves, they do it by themselves. And if you feel like you want us to support you, drop us an email, yeah, and I'll put it out there. US Green Card at peoplearm.io. You can DM us email. That means that you know about the. If you don't know about the process, please watch, come attend our seminar. You don't know about the process. I'm not interested in you coming to us and say, oh, come and do this thing for me. No, you have to know about the process. When you know about the process, and if you want to know about the process, organize a session where I can spend my time with you, which is going to be a paid session, yeah, for you to have the information. But the answer is there for you. Go Google and look for that. But let me share something with you that will interest you, yeah, and I'm sure that you're going to like this one. So the reason why some people are having an issue with this process is that, let me just show you something, yeah, from pay attention to this. If you go on Google right now, so I'm on my Google page, and I just type Visa Bulletin January 2024, it's going to give you this link, and this link takes you to the USCIS. Yeah, so I'll be picking this one, which is Visa Bulletin for January 2024. Yeah, you can see I'm on the page right now. Let me just scroll down, so you can view it in like printer-friendly version. But don't go to any P. Let me tell you the parts you pay attention to. You can see that the A is for family-sponsored preference cases. Yeah, so please move from here and move here. You can see that here is about. You can see that here is employment-based preferences. Yeah. So now let's now go to the category. Now the category we are talking about here is the one that is A. You can see final action date for employment-based preference. Now the one that you see here as first is EB1. The one you see as second here is EB2, which is what we call the EB2-NIW, because you don't need sponsorship for that. You can petition yourself the same way with EB1. Now, if you look at this, let me tell you the people's fear. Their fear is because if you look at India, you can see that India here is showing 1st September 2020. Let me tell you what it means. What it means is that if you apply for EB1 from India, yeah, in 2023 or 2024, and you get it this month, you are going to be waiting for almost 3 years before you are called to get your green card. That means if you're outside of US, you will not be moving to US until like 3 years. That's what it means. That's what you see as 01 September 2020. Yeah, which means that it is only those who have applied as at August 2020 that can get their green card if you are coming from India today. Now, if you look at Mexico, you see that it's showing C, which is correct, which means if you are born in Mexico today, please, it's based on date where you are born, not even your nationality. Not that you are born in Nigeria, then nationalized and become a British. No, it's based on your place of birth. So if you are born in Nigeria, then you are going to use Nigerian as the reference there. You can see that Mexico for the EB1 is C. C means that Mexico is correct, which means that if you apply in Mexico today, you're a Mexican, and you apply today from anywhere in the world, and you get approved, you can go ahead and file for your green card right away. Now, if you're within US, it pays you more. Reason is that if you're within US and you apply, you can actually do an adjustment of status. You can still get your work permit while you're waiting for your green card. Yeah. So let me not go back to those complexity. We'll be talking about that in our seminar. However, look at, if you want to know, I know most people that are listening to this, they are like most times maybe Nigerians. Yeah. So look at the column you should be looking at is all chargeability area except those listed. That is where Nigeria falls. So let me show you number one. EB1 today, if you are from Nigeria and you file and you are approved in January, what it means is that if you're outside of US, you can begin your consular processing immediately because it is current. It's showing as C. Now, this is where people that are attacking are coming from. They are mostly people who are doing the EB2-NIW. Now, if you do EB2-NIW today and you're a Nigerian, you can see that the date is showing 1st November 2022. What it means is that if the date you apply, please, not the date that you approved, if the date you apply and you're a Nigerian was actually 1st October or 30th of October 2022, by now, and you have been approved by now, you can go ahead and begin your US consulate visa processing, which means I can now begin to transit into your green card and move to US if you're outside of US. But if you're in the US already, you could have actually filed change of status, which I don't want to talk about the details here because remember the focus here is that for you to have an idea of why a lot of people are pushing back. So if you look at, this is where I'm going. If you look at India, for example, you look at EB2 for India, do you see that EB2 of India is reading 0 March 2012? Let me tell you what this one means. I will drop a link for this one. Yeah, what this one means is that people on EB2-NIW in India, yeah, if they get endorsed today, right, and they get approved today, they cannot file. If they're outside of the US, they cannot file for this green card. They cannot begin their US consulate processing until it gets to them. And look at the date here, it's 2012, which means that people from India has a pool of almost 12 years in the queue. Let me give you that data. India, as of today, has 1.1 million people on employment-based visa in the US. Their their queue is extremely very long. So many people have a concern and have a personal fear, which they are taking personal with other people, yeah, that if other people get to know about this process and they are applying, it's going to be building up this pool. The answer is yes, this pool will be building up. However, it does not stop you from getting approved because when you get approved is when you get to this pool. If you never got approved in the first place, you don't get to this pool. And approval is not based on quota. You can be approved. The only thing that is affected by quota today is actually when you are filing for your US green card. Yeah. So does it make sense to you, right? So when you see people trying to kick back, majority of them are coming from the point of hatred, personal beef with other people because they might take their chances. And it's typical for, I won't say majority of our people, it's typical for some of the people out there. So I want you to stay focused. Yeah. Remember, yeah, we make sure that we drive this. And for me, what is my passion for doing this? Yeah, I've met several people in the UK. Some of them just finished their PhD. Yeah, and they've done amazingly well for themselves. And when I speak to them, they meet requirements for EB1, for example, and they are struggling with other categories of visa. I don't want to mention them, so it doesn't look like I'm undermining some categories of visas in the UK, and they undermine. So for me, if they had options, they could have actually explored it. Let me tell you more about it. So I've worked for over like 15 years in Nigeria as an example. And I've worked in big companies. I've worked with a multinational company, Procter and Gamble, at a very senior role. Yeah. And one thing about it is that imagine that people like me, people who have been like bank managers in Nigeria, head of risk and management or governance in banks, for example, they want to leave Nigeria or they're in the UK and they are looking for opportunities, they could have actually explored something like this. Yeah. So why do they have to go for some kind of visas when they have alternative to go for premium visa that give them permanent settlement? Yeah. So you could see the big deal here. And a lot of people in UK are not aware. And let it be that I am advancing this movement for people resident in the UK. What I'm giving to you is that come February 17th, I'll be laying bare to you the options you have. Yeah, I'll give you the options of the EB1 and EB2, but the focus is going to be on the EB2 for that seminar. I will give you what you need, the requirement, the qualification, what you need to have, and the tips of putting together compelling cover letter and statements. Doesn't make sense, right? So what I want you to do right away is that the link to that seminar will be on your screen, and all you have to pay is just $50. Yeah, it's a big savings to you. Yeah, if you can't do that, then most likely you're not interested in the visa. I hope that makes sense, right? So let's stay focused. We keep on moving. My name is Solar Diamonds. I'm the strategist, and I'm just here. I'm the lead, a co-founder, and the founder of People Ham Technology in the UK. Yeah, and I just here to serve you. How that makes sense, right? No pressure, no issue at all. We keep on driving this. Guys, have a lovely time. Bye.